Yan! Hello, hello mga kamusta, mga kameta. Baliktad na, kamusta mga kameta, naging mga kamusta. Mga kameta, naging kamusta. Ayan, wala po tayo sa Hong Kong. Wala po tayo sa Times Square, New York. Wala rin po tayo sa Japan, sagot sa Andito po tayo hindi rin sa BGC. Wala rin tayo sa BGC. Andito po tayo sa Baguio City po. Andito, Times Square style. Times Square style, yan, no? Feel na feel sa... Alain mo, almost 10 p.m. Buhay na buhay pa rin yung syudad namin dito. God bless talagang Baguio. Medyo back to energy level na naman ng Baguio, mga kameta. Kamusta kayo dyan? Ayan, magmamaritos tayo. Lagay tayo ng mask. Ang dami pa rin tao. Ngayon lang ako nakikita na gano'ng kadaming tao after 8 p.m. sa probinsya, di ba? Although kami mga taga Baguio, di namin tingin, we don't consider Baguio as probinsya. Kasi we're more social. We're highland. We're highland. We're not like lowland. Yan, ganyan. Seryoso, ngayon lang ako nakikita na gano'ng kadaming tao. Ganitong daming tao sa ganitong oras, almost 10 p.m. na. Dami pa rin mga tao dito, mga kameta. Kaya, so pleasantly surprised ako. Salamat naman kay Mayor. Ayan, nakaisip siya ng mga ganitong bagay-bagay. Akala ko hanggang end of lang to end of February. So, by the way, happy March! Hello guys! Alam na, malapit na yung birthday natin. Baka naman, gusto nyo na mag-Gcash dyan. Mga kameta, ayan, dito na tayo sa Baguio. Ayan. Honestly, for me, first of all, syempre, I always enjoyed going back to Baguio and all. Pero ang problema kasi natin, mga kameta, is, ang bilis matulog ng syudad, diba? Pag hindi sa Metro Manila. In fact, yun din ang reason na nabobore tayo pag nasa Europe tayo, or you know what I'm saying, basta hindi New York, hindi LA, hindi Tokyo, yung mga ganon. Ang dali matulog yung mga ibang city di ba? Wala pang 8-9 p.m. parang wala na, awanan. Nagawi din. So, yun lang yung downside para sa akin na outside Metro Manila. Kasi I like Metro Manila because, like New York, like Tokyo, I'm so New York. Ito yung mga tinatawag na 24-hour city. Diba? Kahit anong oras, makahanap ka ng mga di ba? Makahanap ka ng mga pupuntahan, mga kamaritas, mga gano'n. So, usually bored ako within few days pag nasa ibang bansa na hindi gano'n na 24/7. So, even Paris, hindi gano'n Even Madrid, sense ko, hindi gano'n. Mga 8-9 p.m., wala na yan. Pero New York, in fairness, medyo 24/7. Tokyo, of course. LA to a certain degree, mga ganon. Not San Diego. So, para sa akin, I'm glad to see is that an art? Is that totoo yan? Art ba yan? Okay. Anyway. Okay yan na. Anyway, mga kameta, natutuwa tayo pag nakikita tayo na maraming tao sa ganitong oras. Kasi alam niyo naman, mga kameta, tayo ay medyo nocturnal. So, yung energy level natin, mas mataas sa araw. Diba? Mas mataas sa gabi, kaysa sa araw, diba? Although siguro ba, late after, medyo hyper na tayo. Kaya nakaka-meta tayo ng mga late in the evening, mga kameta. No. Ako naman, obviously, I'm not here to romanticize yung situation sa Baguio. We still have many serious problems. Pagdating sa urban planning, ang laki ng problema. At parati ko sinabi yung root ng problema ng Baguio City ay pwede mo matrace dun sa reconstruction na nangyari after the 1990s na major, diba, earthquake. Really many things went wrong. We didn't have the best kind of leadership. Trapo style yung naging politics for a long time. So for really 2 decades or so, ang nangyari sa Baguio was maldevelopment. Maldevelopment. So you always hear parang mali ata to. Yan, right now. Singer lang ako, di wala na. Fuegong-fuego na. Anyways, speaking of that, may mga concert pa sila dyan sa taas. speaking of that mga kameta, so for 20 years or so talagang maldeveloped na nangyayari. Kaya yung mga iba sa atin na hindi millennial or Gen Z katulad ko, di ba? Alam nila yung mga panahon na 1980s, 70s, mas maganda daw ang Baguio. Including nung time na baksak talaga yung economy of the Philippines dahil sa mga corruption na nangyayari sa panahon ng dictatorship. Alam niyo na yan. Ayoko na magsalita kasi solid north dito. Hindi, joke lang. No, what was I saying? No, even in the 70s and 80s, Baguio was much more, you know what I'm saying, Baguio. Right? At nag-deteriorate talaga siya over the past 20 years. So I'm glad to see that there's some sort of a shaking up of the status quo na nangyari. In fairness kay Mayor Magalong, I can see that. So for instance, the traffic situation, thank God, is not as bad as I thought. Right? It was not so good last year, but this year it turned out very well. Although ang biro ng mga taga Baguio is walang traffic kasi akala nila dahil mga taga Manila akyat dito, wala nang lumabas tuloy, wala nang traffic, right? No, generally, fairness, I see the traffic situation is much better than the previous years and the immediate years before the pandemic. Napansin ko rin the parking situation is also slightly improving. May bagong parking dito sa malapit sa area na yan. Dati, open parking lang, ngayon multi-level na. The other thing I also notice here is, ito yung ginagawa nila, parang City of London style na, you know, you close off the heart of the city at some point to traffic, allow for people to come in, allow for, you know, civic life to thrive. So may pagka Green Hills feels dito, pero with Baguio twist, diba? With Baguio twist and all. Although in fairness, yung presyo ng ibang Baguio, tinignan natin, parang talo pang Divisoria. Ayos yung mga presyo ng iba dito. In fairness. Siyempre ako parating ko sinasabi, ay malapit ako sa Green Hills huwag niyong bigyan na mataas na presyo. Ganun, ginaganon natin. Ang dami pa rin tao. No, isa pa. So, the other thing I like is you have this kind of a civic life situation now, which is not just in the big mall or really the only mall here, which is SM. So there's a civic-like situation here. That's what masaya yan. The third thing I also like na nangyari sa Baguio recently is, well, malinis. Kitang-kita natin na malinis talaga yung Baguio ngayon compared to at least other major cities and compared to before. So wala kang makitang basura dito. Malinis, diba? The other thing also I like is there's the police visibility is really well balanced. So you always see constantly good number of officers around. That gives you a sense of security. It gives you a sense of, you know, knock on the wood, things are under control, no? And I think that also has to do with the fact that may Pikachu pa. That has to do with the fact that, of course, si Mayor Magalong from PNP background yan and all. I'm sure he understands the basics of law enforcement and how to create a sense of security and law and order and also deter mga dodgy people and all. So I like that. I really appreciate it. I feel good about it. And my interaction with the law enforcement here and yung mga incidents na nangyayari, may mga nahuling ganun, they're very professional and all. So natuwa rin ako doon. So there are a number of things I really appreciate. The other thing I want to add here is, mga kameta, I also really, and I think this is the best thing, is that my sense of database public policy si Mayor Magalong and British pa. No, and meron siyang planning, para may long-term planning. So, in fact, last week, ang Philippine Daily Inquirer, of course, kung saan nagsusulat po tayo columnist, meron silang editorial warning about yung situation sa Baguio. And interestingly, a lot of their warnings were based on the data and the studies that were provided by Mayor Magalong. No? So Mayor Magalong, for instance, look at studies by Asian Development Bank, studies by different groups, etc., na pinapakita na ang Baguio po ay napaka-vulnerable to climate change. So one of the reasons, one of the ways you can see the climate change issue getting worse and worse is that yung amount of rainfall sa Baguio ay tumataas. So while you have drought in other parts of the country, meron tayong water scarcity problem, yung mga malalaking dam project natin sa south, you know, they have to take into consideration lack of water. Dito sa Baguio, the problem is the opposite. Too much yung rain. At mukhang the amount of rain over the coming decades could increase by a quarter. By 25% or so. No? So, malaking problema yan because alam nyo dito sa Baguio, land erosion and flooding is a massive, massive problem. Not only because of the topography, mga kameta, not only because of the topography, but also because ang daming bahay na ginawa at sinira nila, ang daming nasira ng mga trees, etc. Of course, alam natin, yung mga roots ng trees, they really help in terms of holding the soil together and avoiding erosion and also. So, sa isang banda, lack of urban planning and bad, like talaga maldevelopment created a lot of these mountains of, favela-style mountains, to put it honestly, diba? I'm not sure if it's politically correct. And at the same time, you have this climate change situation whereby the rainfall is increasing. So, yung combination ng dalawa na yun is going to be a big problem. So, and then of course, the other problem here dito sa Baguio is yung overcapacity. No? I mean, this city was made by Americans for what, 30 to 50,000 people? But Baguio's population is expected to reach like 500,000 people. So you're looking at the 10 to 1 ratio when it comes to overcapacity. Not 2 to 1, not 3 to 1, but 10 to 1. Which brings me really to the final point as far as Mayor Magalong is concerned, because Mayor Magalong has a plan for Metro Baguio development. No? Now, whether the plan will succeed, how are the plans going, I cannot answer that. But what I can say is that at least my recognition na Baguio as it stands is not sustainable. So there has to be development towards the suburbs, no? Towards the suburbs, expansion in that direction para ma-decongest talaga dito. And at some point, maging no car zone dito. In fact, interestingly, I've seen electric bus, etc. going around here. And siguro down the road, 10, 15, 20 years, we can have very strict emission laws whereby only a few cars will be allowed here, or there will be penalties or very heavy parking unless electric yung car mo, no? So, again, I'm not here to like promote a certain person or say everything is going fine. No, there are a lot of problems in Baguio for sure, no? I can see that every day, like coming just out of our place and then like, all over the place, ang gulo. But in fairness naman, parati ko sinasabi, kaysa magnega-nega tayo, look at the good things that are also happening. And look at how we can encourage more of these good things in the coming years and so. And at the same time, we have to appreciate, hindi tayo pwede nega lang, toxic lang, or passive, dahil mga kameta, kung passive lang tayo, nega lang tayo, kawawang mga taga dito, kawawa yung mga kababayan natin na maging super vulnerable, mga kameta, dun sa effects ng climate change, maldevelopment, and bad urban planning. Okay, mamaya na ako parang queue up ng na to. Parang kubaw na to. Wait lang, alis na tayo dyan. Mamaya na tayo. Basta mga kameta, mas spontaneous talaga tayo nag-analyze dito. So, what I'm saying is don't give up on Baguio. There is some ray of hope. And who knows, it might be more than just a ray of hope. But remember, transformation takes time. Not 1 year, not 2 years, not even 5 years. It might take 10 years for the transformation to be fully visible. But ngayon pa lang, we have to plant the seeds and get things in the right direction. And at least believe ako sa aking mga Kabagyo people that they voted not once but twice for a good mayor. Or at least a mayor that is way better than what we had in the past. So, you can say everything you want to say about Solid North. No, I'm just kidding. But responsible voting, good governance voting, yun po yung talagang appreciate natin here, At walang vlogger masyado. Gusto ko rin yan. So, yun ang mga kameta mga nakikita natin. Now, the other thing I want to say, syempre mga kameta, alam niyo naman tayo, internationale, fuego de internationale. Ito lang yung Espanyol ko, wasak talaga Italian accent ko. Like, I cannot control speaking Spanish and then give me an Italian accent. Like, it just comes out, especially when I get excited and all that. Hindi na internationale, Italiano. One of the things I really appreciate mga kameta, hindi naman tayo nagyayabang. Siyempre, papasalamat tayo dun sa mga nag-iimbita sa atin, hindi naman tayo nagja-junket. Na nakakapunta tayo sa iba't ibang lugar. Kasi major vlogger na tayo eh. Uy, si major vlogger pa Senate hearings. So talaga si Tita Amy. Wow, taas ng standards si Tita Amy sa mga experts. Anyway, balikan natin ito mga kameta. Mamaya na tayo magbardagulan. So thank you dun sa mga nag-imbita sa akin around the world. So, of course, over the past year or so, nakapag Paris, Barcelona, Madrid, Venice, Florence, lahat yan ay medyo napuntahan natin, thank God. Of course, what you also and not to mention, one of my favorite places, Hanoi, Vietnam, di ba? Da Nang was beautiful. And of course, Bali. So, ako naman mga kameta, base dun sa mga experiences natin going around the world, no, is that may mga world standard na mga kameta when it comes to accommodation, hotels, but also when it comes to food, no? Now, hindi ko naman sinasabi na dapat lahat tayo mag-Michelin star level of, restaurant food and all tayo. Although, may nakita akong hawker daw na dito sa SM na Michelin star yung original version niya sa Singapore, so I don't know if they're keeping the same level, I have to check that. But, you see, mga kameta, hindi naman tayo konyo, pero siyempre, medyo na-expose na tayo dun sa medyo culture, di ba? Kultura, di ba? So, one of the things I noticed here in Baguio is that you're seeing more and more restaurants and mga apartels and mga boutique kind of hotels, etc., which are much more world standard, no? Hindi baduy-duy, hindi rin gaudy. Although I love the guy, like in Barcelona. And at the same time, not rin yung parang, alam mo na, di ba? So in fairness, I'm seeing more and more restaurants here na the design, the architecture, the food, yung balance between organic and non-organic, the balance between healthy food and masarap food. Getting there, in fairness. Kahapon rin na-discover natin mga kameta, di tayo zadi, lakad. Si Noemi sabi niya, zadi na tayo dahil huminga lang tayo ng isang araw. Wala nga, ang dami akong tinakbo nun with Picasso. But anyway, mga kameta, ayun na, humingal na talaga. No, I see. So for instance, the other day, dumaan kami sa isang area for sunset and all. Napansin namin na, anyway, yan. Hindi yan, ito mga kameta. May isa pang gusto ko dito sa Baguio. Yung mga restaurants na nandun, mga places na nandun na 50 years ago, nandun pa rin. Itong Luisa Cafe. Panon ba nanay ko to Papabili siya ng siopaw sa akin. Anak, punta ka dyan sa Luisa Cafe. Sabi ko, nasaan yan? Never ko nakita yan. Tapos pagkita ko, andito pala So marami kang makita dito. Tsaka ito, rumors Classic mga yan, mga kameta. Punong-puno ngayon, Nako, kabataan pa lang namin, nakikita namin mga yan. Kabataan pa ng mga parents namin, nakikita namin yan. So, I like that. I like that continuity. It's very Europe, diba? Kasi makikita mo sa mga European countries na they really preserve old cafes, old restaurants. Marami doon nag-survive ng panahon ng pandemic. Yun yung wala sa Baguio sa Manila Kunyari sa amin, sa Katipunan, diba? Siyempre tayo nagtuturo ngayon sa UP, dati sa atin ay ganun. So, at nag-aaral tayo sa UP, so marami tayong pinupuntahan just 10, 15 years ago, di ba? Wala na ngayon. Yung mga cafe shops, yung mga tambayan, wala na. So, obviously there's the pandemic situation and all of that, but if you go to Europe, there's so many places. If you go to Europe, not even here sa Baguio, many of these old places have been preserved. I really appreciate that. But now, going back to what I was saying, I think posh, high-end, but also more world-class restaurants, catering, food experience. Baguio is also getting there. More tasteful. I can see that kasi because yun yung advantage kung hindi ka based exactly sa isang place continuously. Kasi kung based ka sa isang place continuously, mas makikita mo yung mga flaws. At di mo ma-appreciate yung little incremental positive changes. Pero kung pupunta ka sa isang lugar every other year or every few months, whatever, and then compare mo with around the world, you can appreciate even the small incremental changes which add up over time. At yun ang nakita natin. So by the way, yung kila Versosa, Black Forest ba yan? Forest House. Meron pala sila, hindi sila nawala. So they moved to somewhere else. Suelo ba yan? Suelo area. It's beautiful. Wow, it's like 4 or 5 stores na building social, talagang mga celebrity mga yan. And then we saw a number of new ones opening up, beautiful view, beautiful sunset view. Tapos yung isa pa nga, I'll say it once mapin down ko yung pangalan. There's one that just opened up, I think today, which is tawag ko Gatsby House. Para siyang bahay ng, hindi si Gatsby yung love interest ni Gatsby. Parang ganun yung place. But of course, not as bongga, but bongga enough, diba? With beautiful views. So, I don't know. My sense is, the city is moving. Obviously, my bias is, not only because I'm from here, my bias is the climate. I can walk here, I can go around here. You can walk 10,000 steps a day and not feel it. Unlike in Manila, wala pang 5 minutes, pawis na tayo. So I appreciate that. You can have some balance, work through the day, spend time here, and then go out and walk at night, then go home again, then get some work done, ganun. Sa Manila, gym lang tayo. Yun lang mga gawa natin, gym. That's the only time I can real. But it's not real air, it's artificial air, etc. What's the difference with office? What's the difference with So, yun. So, tingnan nyo, I mean, I've been all around the world in the past year, di ba? Hindi man tayo nagyabang. Iba pa rin ang Baguio, mahal ko pa rin ang Baguio. Even if marami siyang problema, even if, yes, aminado ko maraming problema. Pero hindi mo rin masisisi ang Baguio, guys, eh. Ang Baguio po was kind of like a city on a hill, no? Made by Americans who had a much more egalitarian worldview than the Espanols, no offense to them. So, very different yung urban planning, very different yung educational philosophy, very less feudal ang Baguio, especially mga Cordilleran brothers and sisters natin. They have yung work ethic nila, yung attitude nila, really good, really nice, I really love it. And then nagdagdagan pa ng mga entrepreneurial na Ilocano, etc. Great, love it. But the reality is Baguio did not exist in an isolation. Ang Baguio po ay nasa gitna ng, it's next to all of these industrial regions, all of these fast-growing regions, all of these overpopulated regions, or whatever you want to call them. And unlike China, yung mga ganyang bansa, wala naman tayong restrictions on internal migration. Wala namang huko system na residency. So anyone can move here, no? So that's why you cannot blame Baguio moving in a certain direction, because even if you wanted the Baguio to be a city on a hill, it would inevitably be influenced by the broader developments across the country, including the maldevelopment that has taken over much of the Philippines over the past century. Yon. Anyways, happy lang ako ng konti for Baguio, more than konti, because I was worried nung years na walang tourism, etc. I hope that helped in terms of rejuvenating the flora and fauna. But of course, I was also worried about the economics of the city, no? And the restaurants here, they're gonna still be around, and also I'm glad to see that a lot of these restaurants and establishments are still sticking around and thriving and doing fine. So, masaya tayo sa ganito. Ay. Anyway, as always, yan ang sinasabi ko, guys. Don't give up. Don't give up sa ating bansa. Kahit nag-abroad na kayo, kahit mag-abroad pa kayo, okay lang yan. Choice na yan sa buhay. Pero please, have not one foot, have one toe back home, right? And bring back great ideas. So I'm hoping yung cousin natin, si Marco, na nagbukas ng restaurant ngayon sa Ibiza, Spain, God bless him. I hope one day he'll bring more investments here. He'll bring European, Spanish level of cuisine, like really high quality stuff here. And I hope the same thing for a lot of ating mga kababayan who are all around the world, who have the capital, who have the talent, who have the taste, and who have, if not patriotism in the corny, traditional sense, at least have that basic sense of attachment to the country. Sentimental, in kind of Espanol way, no? Ayan, yun lang masasabi natin mga kameta. Anyways, balik na tayo. Kailangan ko na back to work tayo mga kameta. Let's say I enjoyed having a little bit of exercise here. Sasabihin naman ng isa dyan, Zadi ka na, Zadi! Wala talaga. Alright guys, let me say thank you. Ayan, madaldal naman tayo. Thank you kay Ja. Brillante sa kanya. Baguio is my favorite place. Although I've not returned since 2016. I really miss that place. Yeah, please come back. This place is still improving. Ayan. Sabi ni Jocelyn, hig mo ng kape. Hindi ako nagkakape sa gabi kasi baka di na tayo makatulog niyan. Salamat kay Eden and Lona. Thank you so much for Hazard. At yan, si Noemi. Yan ang nag-asar sa atin na Zaddy na. Kay Mitch. Yan, pangkape. O, bukas na yan. Bukas, I'll try to reach out to you guys. God willing, also from somewhere interesting. Thank you also kay Michael Uy. Salamat guys. God bless. Talk to you soon. God willing.